Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
How's it going? My name is Tommy Joyner. I've been in the digital marketing space for about 12 years. My background specifically is in running content businesses, content writing services for SEO content as well. I sold a business in 2019 with regard to this type of industry, and as well am now listing another business for sale in the same space. I have experience putting together large teams to put together curated SEO content for lots of different types of businesses, software companies, affiliate sites, niche publishers, etc., as well as hybridizing those teams and incorporating AI to assist in their processes.
So why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
I've decided to sell this business because I originally came on to this business as a consultant. And once I parted ways with my partner, my main goal was to get the business back to a good financial state and give the team somewhere that they could grow. So I think at this point, the business serves someone else in the space more than it would serve me. So I'm looking to move on and actually looking to get out of the space entirely. That's just a little bit of my background as to why I'm stepping out. There are, of course, multiple ways to continue growing it and some different ideas that I've had. But for the sake of answering this question, I am moving on because I am transitioning out of the industry. And I think that this business would be a really good fit for someone else that wants to take it over.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
In terms of maintaining the business, I actually don't have to do anything other than some business development and some marketing work here and there. But the business is entirely run by the team. There's about 4 full-time team members right now. They do everything for me. I don't really need to lift a finger to keep the operations of the business going every week. I put 1 to 5 hours per week in the business, depending on really what I feel like working on. Other than that, it runs independent of me entirely.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
If I were to keep this business, one of the ways that I would consider growing it is by launching additional services. That's something that there's endless opportunities for within the space of productized services. We, of course, have a large email list and an email list from before that includes a bunch of unsubscribed emails. There's probably a really good opportunity to reach back out to some of those people with cold email campaigns to reintroduce them to the new and updated services at this business. And in addition, sell them other services around it. So I think in summary, there's tons of different ways to incorporate other productized services around this business that I think would be beneficial to growing it moving forward.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
I think the biggest risks with the business are quite obvious. The content writing space has been really upended by AI and all the other opportunities. We've luckily transitioned to a hybrid model where AI is incorporated as part of our process. And the stuff that we work on for the foreseeable future is stuff that people are going to need to come in and edit and tweak with real writers, et cetera. And the operations team to actually put all this stuff together is obviously a big asset. But, the improvement of AI to render these services completely useless eventually could be something to consider, as well as maybe just what happens to SEO or the need for content in the future.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
I'm willing to offer buyers a bunch of support during a transition. Thankfully, it's a very easy transition to hand off. It's a very easy business to hand off. So I don't think there's many moving parts. It's literally in a state where it's kind of set and forget. And your involvement really has to do with how much you want to dive in and actually tackle things and improve the business overall. But I'm for sure willing to help out for 30 days intensely, up to 90 days if someone needs that support.
Got it. And regarding the sale of the business, would you agree to a non-compete?
The business is in industry where there's a lot of different types of services being offered. I can commit to a non-compete for a short period of time if it's exclusively related to not competing with the customers, et cetera. Based on kind of like the generality of the business and the size of the business, I don't think it's necessary to commit to a massive non-compete, but it's certainly something that we could discuss with buyers when that question arises. I would like to evaluate that on a case-by-case basis, depending on the scope of the business that someone is looking to launch, and just to make sure that I'm not unnecessarily hindered from something that might be digital services related if I do decide to get back in the industry.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
Based on the size of the business, I'm not necessarily open to an earn-out payment structure. I could be open to something creatively if those offers come up. So I'm certainly willing to entertain offers, but I would like a good chunk of the deal to be a cash deal.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
If I were in the shoes of a buyer, I think this business is worth buying because cash flows, it's extremely low maintenance. There's tons of resources to take advantage of in regard to the email list. It's a brand that's been around in the space for 10 years and can easily be expanded upon. The website has a lot of brand value and name recognition in the SEO content space over the last decade. I also believe that there's a whole suite of digital services that could be bolted on to this type of business that make it really attractive as well. So I think for the right buyer that there's abundance of things that can be done. But in summary, it's a very simple business. It cash flows well. People are on subscriptions right now, and there are lots of other services that not only the existing customers could buy, but previous customers and additional services that would make it suitable for something that would be easy to grow in the future.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.